Which players have the Broncos for sure met with at the Combine this week? Welcome into your Denver Sports Daily for February 29th. It's a leap year, everybody. Let's go.
Taking you through your morning headlines, it's Denver Sports Daily with Rachel V. Hill.
Everybody wants to know what quarterbacks are the Broncos for sure meeting with at the Combine this year. And we know that they've met with Oregon's Bo Nix, Washington's Michael Penix Jr., and then they've also planned to meet with Tulane's Michael Pratt later in the week. They met with J.J. McCarthy on Tuesday night. Lots of names, and then you can see a few position groups as well. Lots of tight ends. I know Brock Bowers is definitely exciting a lot of people. Some defensive linemen from yesterday, linebackers, cornerbacks. A few names are definitely popping up. We'll continue to update this list as more and more names definitely come about. And then you can always check out denversports.com too, with lots of articles on all of these players. And perhaps the most well-known mock draft maker in the country, ESPN's Mel Kiper Jr. has changed his round one pick for the Denver Broncos. If you remember a few weeks ago, Kiper had the team selecting UCLA's pass rusher Latua in his first version that dropped back in January. Now in the 2.0 edition of his mock draft, he's shifted to the most popular position for the Broncos' needs. And that, of course, is the quarterback position. And Kiper now has the Broncos selecting J.J. McCarthy, a popular selection in mock drafts from various national sites across the internet. Now, another one, like I mentioned, Brock Bowers has definitely been an interesting one for a lot of, just college sports fans in general, college football fans in general. And he talks on his meeting with the Broncos. Take a listen.
Yeah, I met with the Broncos, and I thought it went well and everything. And I'd be excited anywhere that wants to pick me.
It's a very short clip, and to be honest, he didn't really seem too excited about his meeting with him saying, I'll be happy with whatever team takes it. I've seen a few other clips of him talking about talking with Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers and stuff, and he seemed to have a little bit more emotion and a little bit more excitement. So for the fact that it was an 8-second clip and he kind of just I met with them, would be happy with any team that would draft me. I'm like, okay, so he's not that high on the Denver Broncos, which, to be honest, how can you blame him with where things are sitting right now? Now, yesterday, the NFLPA comments came out about the Broncos. And so what did we learn? Some of the main things that kind of went against the Broncos were players wanted individualized workout plans from their strength coach, which blows my mind that they weren't already getting that. Multiple cars were stolen from the parking lot of a mandated team hotel during training camp. This one blew my mind. We talked about it on Coffee Break yesterday with Will Peterson. I'm like, how the heck are their cars being stolen? I can't imagine coming out after getting a good night's sleep, after being at training camp for so long, and all of a sudden my car is gone. So that would piss me off. But then this definitely sparked a lot of interest yesterday, and honestly, some debate on social media. Broncos ownership group, the Walton Penner Group, got an A, 5th overall, and club owner Greg Penner received a rating of 9.6 out of 10 from the Broncos players when considering his willingness to invest in the facilities. So we can look at some of the other areas that there was some critiquing with the Denver Broncos. Example, they got a D+ in treatment of families. They are one of 12 teams that do not provide a family room at their stadium. However, they do provide daycare on game days. Another one being NFLPA comments on the big improvements in the nutritionist/dietitian. The team hired a new dietitian this season, and a lot of players felt like they got an individualized plans. Now, how about the locker rooms? They got a D. 61% of players feel the locker room is big enough, and 69% of players feel like they have enough room in their individual lockers. So top area players would like to see the team address the locker room, but it should also be pointed out that the Broncos are about to break ground on a new 205,000 square foot, $175 million practice facility to be completed by the start of the 2026 season. So the locker room will indeed be much bigger. Last one. Head coach Sean Payton. He got an A-, 17th overall. 72% of players feel head coach Sean Payton is efficient with their time, which is a big one. And players feel Payton is somewhat willing to listen in the locker room. I find it funny that it's somewhat willing to listen in the locker room. Now, your next Mile High Minute is presented by Smashburger. The Nuggets versus the Kings. Holy smokes, what a game last night. And tonight's going to be even more fun. Okay, so Nuggets are down early. They're not looking good going up against Michael Malone's former team until all of a sudden they go on a 26-4 run, and literally the Nuggets came alive. Jokic with his 4 straight triple-double. Jamal Murray went off 13 of 15 from the field, and they get the win. Also, Emmanuel Sanders was in the house, so that was always fun. And the Nuggets, they've given out championship rings to a few of their opposing players this season. Bruce Brown, Jeff Green, Ish Smith, a lot of others have received their rings. And after being on the team last season and returning to town with their new squad, that tradition is expected to continue with Thomas Bryant of the Miami Heat tonight, as we have a finals rematch that's going to be an 8 p.m. tip. We'll get into that in just a second. But there is one little problem when it comes to Thomas Bryant. Bryant got suspended for the game, which he ended up getting in a fight. You probably saw the clip over the weekend between the Heat and the Pelicans. He got in a fight, so he got suspended for 3 games. And normally, suspended players can't be in the building, let alone play during the duration of their punishment. But a new report says the league is making an exception in this case. Bryant can get his championship ring from the Nuggets, but he will have to leave the arena following the ceremony, and he will be able to receive the ring publicly. So that will be exciting for him. But yeah, kind of interesting that they are giving him this exception, like, hey, you can go there, but the second it's over, you got to bounce out of the stadium. You are not allowed to hang out. The Nuggets are taking on the Heat, like I said, 8 p.m. tip tonight. It's going to be a really good one on national television. I'm excited for it. Late night, everybody, get ready to stay up. The Heat, they're a decent team. I think that the Nuggets, though, coming off a back-to-back, it will be closer than a lot are anticipating. But, of course, let's hope that the Nuggets can get it done at home. Colorado Avalanche. They're taking on the Chicago Blackhawks. Their road struggles continue. Their last road win was on February 13th against the Washington Capitals. Can they figure out how to get a win on the road? That's going to be massive for this Avalanche team. The Blackhawks are not a very good team, so hopefully they're able to get that W. Colorado Rapids had their season kickoff party last night. It looked like a bunch of fun. They had a little bit of a, I don't want to call it a fashion show, but they had a runway and players were able to go down and high five a bunch of fans that were in attendance. You could get autographs. You could take pictures. They had like the spinny camera that went around you and does like all the cool slow motion stuff to show that you were there. It looked like an absolute blast. You could see their new kit for this year. They have their home opener against Nashville on Saturday night at 7:30 p.m. here in the Mile High City. It's crazy. I can't believe the MLS is already back. Now, the Jets and Zach Wilson, they're ready to go their separate ways. GM Joe Douglas said Wednesday that the team has given Wilson permission to seek a trade. Wilson ended up starting 11 games last season after Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles in week 1, but would be benched twice more and was inactive for the final 3 weeks of the season. Wilson is headed into the final season of his rookie contract and has a cap hit of $11.1 million. Let me know how you would feel about seeing Zach Wilson to the Broncos. Would they entertain that, trading a Wilson for a Wilson? I honestly doubt it, but it is kind of interesting that that name has popped up like once or twice here in conversation. Now, we're going to go into a little bit on the AFC West, so bear with me because I know people don't want to talk about the Chiefs, but there's a lot going on with them. They have 2 big free agents to take care of this offseason, and it looks like they're using the franchise tag to keep one of them. According to reports, the team has tagged cornerback L'Jarius Sneed at a price tag of $19.8 million for next season. The 2 sides will have until July 15th to work out a long-term contract extension. Another team could also offer a long-term deal to Sneed, but would have to give up 2 first-round picks if the Chiefs don't match it. With Sneed tag, the focus will now be on creating a new deal for Chris Jones, which we all remember the drama last year that came with Chris Jones and him not playing until he was able to get a deal done, yet he was still doing like public outings and stuff with the Chiefs. So we'll look to see if they get a deal done. And of course, that's a big thing for Broncos fans because Chris Jones has been a nightmare for teams for a while now. The Chiefs will be moving on from wide receiver Marquez Valdez-Scantling. According to reports, the team plans to release the veteran wideout, saving $12 million against the cap. Valdez-Scantling made several big catches in the postseason, including a touchdown in Super Bowl 58, but he struggled with drops in big moments. He finished the season with 21 catches and 315 yards for 1 touchdown. Last one on the Chiefs, I promise. They have big plans to renovate Arrowhead Stadium. Their home stadium is the 3rd oldest stadium in the NFL, and the proposed renovations have a price tag of $800 million. The renovations would be following the 2026 World Cup, which will feature a game at Arrowhead Stadium, and these renovations will take about 4 years to complete. Holy smokes. I would love to see the Broncos do some more renovations. I know they're doing like small things here and there, but really starting to update Mile High would be interesting because I don't know. I'm still on the fence about what I want the Broncos to do. If I want them to build an entire new stadium or if I just want them to renovate. Let me know in the comments how you're feeling about it. Sticking in the AFC West real quick, Raiders GM Tom Telesco says the team won't be trading star wideout Devonte Adams. Telesco was blunt with reporters addressing trade rumors by declaring he's a Raider. Adams saw his production dip in 2023, but still put up solid numbers with 103 receptions for 1,144 yards and a touchdown. He also gave a vow of confidence to new Raiders head coach Antonio Pierce after he took over for Josh McDaniels last season. I think that the Raiders, I think they're going to do good things this season. That's not good news for Bronco fans, but I definitely feel it coming. The Washington Commanders. Oh, the Washington Commanders. They won't be playing at FedEx Field next season. FedEx announced Wednesday that it was ending its naming rights deal with the team, which has been in place since 1999. The company was paying $7.5 million per year for those rights, but reportedly decided to opt out of the deal 2 years early. We've seen a lot of stuff going on with the Commanders after time. Now, you thought with new ownership, maybe FedEx would stick around. But in a statement, the Commander said they had already started the process of finding a new naming rights partner. Earlier this week, the team announced a plan for $75 million in stadium upgrades. Lots of stuff going on in the NFL, lots of stuff going on at the Combine. And of course, you have 2 games tonight for the Nuggets and the Avalanche. They should be some good ones as well. Let's see. New stadium, please. I don't know how I feel about a new stadium or renovating the one because I love where Mile High is right now. I would hate for them to move it out towards the airport. Honestly, it just seems like a traffic nightmare. But I also get everybody that's like, it's a traffic nightmare now with where it is on I-25. So I'm still on the fence and I'm always curious to hear what people have to say. Okay. I knew there was going to be a Russ comment in here somewhere. OMG, just stick with Russ. I truly feel that we will regret releasing him. What other QBs will we have that will be better than Russ? It's a great question. I just don't think that Russ fits in with what Sean Payton wants the offense to look like. Ownership group has fully bought into what Sean Payton plans to do with this team. Russell Wilson will most likely be getting released here in the next 14 days, and the Broncos will draft a quarterback, find a bridge quarterback. I don't know. It's going to be fascinating. Plenty of stuff at denversports.com, of course, for anything that is breaking. That way you guys have all of the last updates, but I hope you guys all have a wonderful Thursday. This week has flown by, and come hang out with us 12 p.m. Andrew Mason is going to be live from the Combine, giving us all the little drama and details that he's learned about what the Broncos are looking to do down there. So plenty of good stuff. 12 p.m. coffee break. Come hang out with us. And then everybody else, have a wonderful day. We'll see you back here 10 a.m. for another episode of Denver Sports Daily. Get back to work, everybody. We'll see you later.